Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 15 amazing geography facts about Canada. Now, as a country that is as big as it is, I assume there's going to be a lot of interesting oddities about this country. I know there's some facts such as it's got 60% of the fresh water located here. I think that's a fact about Canada. It's got a lot of crazy facts like that. Or there's going to be one where 95% of the population live under this line, which is 5% of Canada. I think there's stats like that basically I've seen before, but there's going to be a lot more as well, hopefully, that I haven't seen. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully going to enjoy. And yeah, if you're from Canada or you're from wherever and you want me to do more reactions to Canada or other countries, I'm fully down for it. I guess just get suggesting in the comments, because yeah, I enjoy doing this stuff. But let's jump into this reaction and see some of these facts that I assume will surprise me. And yeah, let's jump into this.
Canada is an amazing country that makes up about 1/3 of all of North America. And because it's so vast and spans such a large area, it's bound to have some of the most awe-inspiring geography attached to it. So here are 15 of my favorite geography facts about the Great White North.
Here we
and
go.
to kick us off, do you know how many islands Canada has?
10,000. Want to find out now? Come on, let's
Canada
see.
has more islands than any other country in the world, with an estimated 52,000 named islands and countless smaller
Named islands? Oh, gee. I thought 10,000 was a lot. What the fuck?
unnamed ones. The Arctic archipelago alone contains over 36,000 islands, including
Damn.
Baffin Island, the world's 5th largest, and Ellesmere Island, the 10th largest. Combined, these islands account for about 15% of Canada's land mass. And they're not all Arctic barren tundras. Canada's islands offer incredible diversity. In the east, Prince Edward Island is known for its rolling farmland and beaches, while in the west, Vancouver Island and Haida Gwaii feature lush rainforests and towering mountains.
Oh, wow.
But unlike island nations such as
Rainforests in Vancouver, damn.
Indonesia or the Philippines, which are densely populated, Canada's islands are often remote and sparsely inhabited. This isolation makes them vital for scientific research, tourism, and environmental conservation.
And because it has so many islands, it also has
Lots of water. The longest coastline, yeah, makes
Canada's
sense.
coastline is the longest in the world, stretching over 202,000 kilometers. It borders 3 oceans, the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic. To put it in perspective, the second longest coastline belongs to Indonesia, a country of over 17,000 islands, yet its coastline measures just 54,000 kilometers. Canada's coastline is nearly 4 times longer. This immense length contributes significantly to Canada's economy and biodiversity. The coastlines are home to vital fisheries, particularly for lobster and crab on the Atlantic side and salmon on the Pacific side. The Arctic coastline, though less accessible, is becoming increasingly important with climate change, as melting ice opens potential shipping routes like the Northwest Passage. Canada's extensive coastline also includes famous natural wonders like the Bay of Fundy, known for having the world's highest tides, with some areas rising over 16 meters in a
Whoa.
single
What the fuck? Wait, how the hell?
known for having the world's highest tides, with some areas rising over 16 meters in a single day.
with
Whoa.
a coastline this
That's
long.
a crazy, what's it called? The video is crazy. What's it called when it's sped out? I can't remember what it's called, but that's mental. Time lapse.
It's probably not surprising that Canada is really, really large.
It's a big old boy.
Canada covers a vast 9.98 million square kilometers, making it the second largest country on Earth after Russia. It's so large that you could fit the entire European Union into Canada with room to spare.
God, the EU is tiny, man. It's actually mad how small Europe really is. I know this is the European Union, but still, Europe as a whole is so small.
Despite its massive size, Canada's population is only about 40 million people, meaning it has one of the lowest population densities globally.
See, this is very true, right? It's got a low population density, but like I've said before, because everyone lives under that 5% line or whatever, the density realistically is going to be a lot higher, because I feel like the majority of people live in cities. But still, overall, obviously the density is very low.
Globally, with only about 4 people per square kilometer, an extremely low amount when you compare it to the United States, which has on average 35 people per square kilometer. This vast expanse of Canada includes towering mountains, expansive prairies, frozen tundra, and dense forests. The country's size creates extreme regional diversity, from British Columbia's temperate rainforests to Nunavut's icy Arctic, and from the flat prairies of Saskatchewan all the way to the rocky coasts of Newfoundland. Canada's size and overall northernness contributes to harsh winters, which can make living difficult. However, this space also allows Canada to preserve its incredible natural beauty, with over 38 national parks protecting these landscapes.
Now, despite having so much space, Canada's people haven't really spread out to occupy it all.
Here we go.
Despite Canada's immense size, about 75% of its population lives within 100 miles of the US border. This narrow strip of land accounts for less than 5% of Canada's total area, but it includes cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Ottawa. This concentration is largely due to geography and climate. The southern parts of Canada have a milder climate, more fertile land, and better access to trade with the United States. Meanwhile, the northern regions are dominated by harsh Arctic and subarctic conditions, making large-scale settlement difficult. In comparison, Russia, another vast country with a cold climate, has a similar pattern, with most of its population concentrated in the more temperate west.
Which means Canada's largest bay is mostly uninhabited. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take your nutrition to the next level.
Secure the bag, baby.
Meet Huel,
Oh, I got a Huel
the
right
sponsor
here.
of today's
Oh, love
video.
that.
Easier way to eat
It's actually
with
water inside, by the way. I bought this bottle ages ago. One large shallow bay.
The Hudson Bay is the world's second largest bay after the Bay of Bengal, covering 1.23 million square kilometers. Situated in northeastern Canada, it's surrounded by Manitoba.
What makes something a bay? Because to me, the Bay of Bengal just looks like an ocean. So what makes it a bay? What makes a bay a bay? That's such a dumb way to write it. So it's broad curved indentation of a coastline where the land curves inward, creating a large open body of water that connects to a larger body of water, like a sea or a lake. The geological feature is often formed through erosion of softer rock, tectonic activity, or glacial movement, resulting in a partially enclosed area with the land on three sides. So it's just the shape. That's literally what makes it a bay. Well, there you go. I guess San Francisco Bay, this and that. Yeah, fair, makes sense.
Square kilometers. Situated in northeastern Canada, it's surrounded by Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and Nunavut. Now, despite its size, the Hudson Bay is relatively shallow, with an average depth of just 100 meters. This shallowness
I mean, I guess it's shallow for a bay, but it still seems pretty deep.
means it freezes over completely during the winter, and even in summer, the water remains extremely cold. The bay is a remnant of a prehistoric sea left behind by melting glaciers after the last ice age. The Hudson Bay plays an important role in Canada's history and economy. It was the site of early fur trading posts established by the Hudson's Bay Company, which helped shape Canada's development. Today, its shores are sparsely populated, with small communities relying on fishing, hunting, and shipping.
The Hudson Bay, of course, is not inland, but Canada does have plenty of really large lakes.
Yeah, it's got lots of lakes, isn't it?
Canada is home to more lakes than any other country, boasting over 2 million, with 31,752 larger than 3 square kilometers. That's more than the rest of the world combined.
So that's the fact that I was saying, and I said fresh water, didn't I? I guess fresh water is, like, lakes are fresh water, actually, so I guess that is...
Its lakes account for nearly 9% of the country's total area, a staggering contrast to countries like Australia, which is famous for its arid landscapes and limited freshwater resources. Among Canada's most famous lakes are Lake Superior, which is shared with the US and known as the world's largest freshwater lake by surface area, and Great Bear Lake, located entirely within Canada and recognized as the country's largest by volume. These lakes are essential for hydropower, providing clean energy to millions of Canadians, as well as for recreation and wildlife habitats. Altogether, Canada's Great Lakes system, which also includes Lake Ontario, Erie, and Huron, contains 20% of the world's freshwater supply.
So it makes sense that some of those lakes would also have their own islands.
The world's largest freshwater island.
Canada is home to Manitoulin Island, the world's largest freshwater island, located in Lake Huron, Covering 2,766 square kilometers, it's larger than some countries, such as Luxembourg, which is only 2,586 square kilometers. But unlike most islands surrounded by salt water, Manitoulin is unique for its freshwater setting. But that's not the only thing that sets this island apart from the others. Manitoulin itself contains over 100 inland lakes. Some even have their own islands. This extremely rare phenomenon means that there are islands within lakes on an island within a larger lake. Treasure Island is a great example of this because it's the world's largest natural island in a lake on an island in a lake. Manitoulin Island has a rich indigenous history and remains home to several Anishinaabe communities. Its landscapes feature rolling hills, beaches, and forests, making it a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts. Boating, fishing, and hiking are common activities, while visitors can also explore cultural sites and learn about the island's First Nation heritage.
But this is
pretty
perhaps
cool.
not even Canada's most famous freshwater island.
South of California.
Canada's southernmost point, Middle Island, is farther south than parts of Northern California.
Whoa.
Located within Lake Erie at 41.4 degrees north, it lies on the same latitude as cities like Rome and Chicago. However, its location surprises many because Canada is often associated with northern cold climates and snow-covered landscapes. Now, all that said, there are no permanent settlements on Middle Island, as the entire island is a conservation area. So technically, Canada's southernmost point with people would be Pele Island, just a little north of Middle
How
Island.
do you end up on that island though? Like, I just don't understand how you end up living there.
All in all, not that different and still well south of much of the United States.
We've now covered Canada's far north and far south. But what's in the middle?
Here we go. Okay, massive
Canada's
forest.
boreal forest is one of the largest
Wow.
intact forests in the entire world, spanning over 2.7 million square kilometers and stretching from Newfoundland to the Yukon. This biome covers nearly 35% of Canada's land area, making it a critical component of the country's geography and environmental health. The boreal forest is home to iconic species such as moose, lynx, and wolves, as well as billions of migratory birds that nest here in the summer. Its trees, mainly spruces, pines, and firs, also play a vital role in sequestering carbon, helping to mitigate climate change. Canada's boreal forest is larger than those in Russia or Scandinavia, and it plays a crucial role in regulating global weather patterns. Its vastness and importance have earned it recognition as one of the world's most significant ecosystems. Unlike tropical rainforests, which are shrinking due to deforestation, much of Canada's boreal forest remains pristine. However,
Love that.
wildfires are a growing concern
Wildfires in Canada. In this region as well. Like, I can understand maybe in certain parts in Canada, but what the hell?
for the region as every summer, lightning storms set off large, unmanned
Wait, lightning causes these forest fires? That's crazy. I mean, that's probably common knowledge to a lot of people, but I would never have guessed that lightning storms lead to wildfires in Canada.
manageable fires.
Now, underneath all of those trees is some seriously old rock.
Oldest rock ever found.
Canada is home to some of the oldest rocks on Earth, dating back nearly 4 billion years. These ancient formations
What?
are found in the Canadian Shield, a massive geologic feature that stretches across northern and eastern Canada, including parts of Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, and the Northwest Territories. The Canadian Shield is a treasure trove for geologists. In 2008, researchers discovered rocks in northern Quebec's Greenstone Belt that are believed to be 4.28 billion years old, predating most life on Earth. These rocks provide a glimpse into Earth's earliest crust and the conditions that shaped our planet. Beyond its age, the Shield is a vital economic region. Rich in minerals like gold, nickel, and copper, it has driven Canada's mining industry for decades. Its rugged landscape, dotted with thousands of lakes and forests, also support tourism and serve as a major carbon sink, absorbing more carbon from the atmosphere than it releases.
All that said, the Canadian Shield does not cross Canada's Great Divide.
Canada is split in half.
Like with the United States, the Continental Divide runs through Canada's Rocky Mountains, separating the watersheds that flow into the Pacific Ocean from those flowing into the Atlantic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. The divide stretches from Alaska through Canada, down into the US, and beyond to South America. making it one of the longest hydrological divides in the entire world. In Canada, it's most pronounced in British Columbia and Alberta, where the Rockies create a dramatic natural barrier. Rivers like the Columbia flow west into the Pacific, while the Saskatchewan River system carries water eastward to the Hudson Bay. The divide also plays a role in shaping the ecosystems and weather patterns on either side. For example, the west side of the Rockies is wetter and milder due to Pacific air, while the east side is drier and colder.
Speaking of colder,
Largest territory?
None of it, established in 1999, is
I wonder how many people live here. I'm going to guess it's like 50,000. I might have seen that before, actually. Like 50,000 people live here. But where are they going to live? And I also wonder, where's the northernmost point people live? Because I've done reactions to the northernmost city in America. It's called, I know it's not, if they've changed the name. I remember it as Barrow. Is it like, none? No, it's not. This is literally none of it. That's what I'm thinking that for. I can't remember what they've changed the name to. But you look at this, the northernmost, I think it's around this region anyway, the northernmost city in America. I mean, it reaches this region, but it goes so much higher. So I wonder what the northernmost location that people live is in this, in Nunavut.
Canada's largest and newest territory, spanning an enormous 2 million square kilometers, almost the size of Mexico. Despite its size, it has a population of just over 41,000 people, making it one of the least densely populated areas on Earth. None of it is primarily inhabited by Inuit communities, who have lived there for thousands of years. The territory was created as part of a land claim agreement that granted the Inuit self-governance and recognition of their cultural heritage. The capital, Iqaluit, is the largest settlement, yet its population is just over 7,000. None of its geography is dominated by Arctic tundra, rugged mountains, and hundreds of thousands of islands. Famous natural landmarks include Baffin Island and the stunning fjords of Ayudik National Park. Wildlife such as caribou, polar bears, and Arctic foxes thrive here.
I gotta see. It's probably gonna pop up now. The question that I'm gonna search. Canada's most northernmost community. There we go. Grise Fjord. So if we look at a map, right? So let's search Grise Fjord. How north is it? I love seeing these sort of things. So I just want to see just how north. My Wi-Fi is bugging out again. Classic. So if you zoom out, give me a bit of time. How do you zoom out? I thought the zoom out's usually here. Oh, there we go. Oh my god. My Wi-Fi bugging out, man. Oh, so it's actually pretty far north then. Oh, damn, it is high. Mate, imagine living there. What a mad place to live. I would look at pictures of it, but my Wi-Fi has just been really annoying, so I ain't going to do that. But, damn, that's pretty cool. A very tall and wide mountain.
Towering at 5,959 meters, Mount Logan in Yukon is Canada's tallest peak and the second highest mountain in North America after Denali in Alaska. Located within Kluane National Park, the mountain is part of the St. Elias Range, a region known for its rugged beauty and massive ice fields. And despite its already immense size, Mount Logan is still growing by a whopping 0.35 millimeters a year due to the tectonic collision between the Pacific and North American plates. It also holds the record for having the largest base circumference of any non-volcanic mountain, stretching 40 kilometers long, making it a colossal natural wonder. While less famous than Everest or Denali, Mount Logan presents climbers with equally challenging conditions. Temperatures can plunge below negative 45 degrees Celsius, and storms can last for weeks. These extreme conditions have kept the mountain relatively untouched by human activity.
but something that hasn't gone untouched is Canada's vast oil reserves.
This might sound surprising, but Canada ranks among the world's top oil producers. holding the third largest proven oil reserves globally after Venezuela and Saudi Arabia. Most of Canada's oil...
It's mad when you see Venezuela like being first, but then the country is in so much, like so many issues. It's in like turmoil because the government is so bad. I know that's not even relevant to this, but you got to feel bad for the people because they could be balling out, but nah, the government just choose to be ass.
Is found in the Athabasca oil sands in Alberta, a vast area containing an estimated 165 billion barrels of recoverable oil.
Fez.
But unlike conventional oil reserves, much of Canada's oil is in the form of bitumen, a heavy, viscous form of crude oil that requires extensive processing. The oil sands have been both an economic boon and an environmental challenge. Alberta's oil industry generates billions in revenue and supports thousands of jobs, but it's also criticized for its high carbon emissions and impact on local ecosystems. Canada's oil exports are primarily sent to the United States, making it the largest foreign supplier to the US. Despite this, Canada's oil industry faces challenging in diversifying its markets, as pipeline expansions like the Trans Mountain project face political and environmental hurdles.
So is Edmonton an oil sort of city? Because obviously it's quite a major city, but is it mainly because of the oil job, like the jobs that it offers and stuff like that?
Finally, Canada spans 6 primary time zones, making it one of the most time-diverse nations on Earth. From Pacific time in British Columbia to Newfoundland time in the Far East, Canada's time zones reflect the sheer vastness of its geography. Newfoundland is particularly unique as it operates on a half-hour offset, a quirk shared by only a few other places worldwide. Canada's time zones are essential for global trade and travel, particularly with its southern neighbor, the United States. The US shares 4 of Canada's time zones, making cross-border coordination smoother than it might be otherwise. This time diversity poses challenges for national coordination though. For example, live broadcasts of sporting events or political speeches often cater to Eastern time, leaving Western and Atlantic provinces watching at odd hours. It also underscores the immense size of the country. When Vancouverites wake up, Newfoundlanders are already preparing lunch.
Hey Canada, I'm going off script here just a little bit because there's some really wild things happening in our world right now, particularly between the United States and, of course...
Oh, is this released when... I guess just talking about stuff to do with political issues and stuff. The USA is blessed to have Canada as a neighbour, a friend, and their support. I mean, I guess after this, it sort of went a little bit south between the countries, and it still is quite south. As a Canadian, this was a wonderful video to watch, highlighting the beauty of our great country. I appreciate your kind words and support. The moose picture at 10:26 is actually a picture of an elk. Oh, fair. Thank you for the video. As an American, I totally support Canada. Yeah, this is a really good video looking at these facts. There's a lot of like really fascinating facts. So like it's like the top for so many different things, like islands, freshwater, this and that, the coastline. It's actually pretty mad when you think about it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And yeah, let me know what you want to see next. And until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.